out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Yeah, they brought old boy out in a body bag, man, and it was crazy because they actually had the whole bag zipped up where when they was pushing out the gurney, he was on there in a whole body bag where you couldn't even see him at all. It was just crazy. And it was like, oh, dude, dead. So now dudes don't know if his celly killed him or what happened. But come to find out later on, he hung himself. You know what I'm saying? He hung himself. He took his own life. I guess the pressure had got too much for him. The boy went up at 22 years old. And like I said, I think I said it before on one of these videos when I spoke briefly about the situation, that it's just so cold in prison, man. It just so uncut, man. It's so raw. There's no love in there. There's no, you know what I'm saying? They dehumanize you. That you be detached away from real emotions and real feelings. A lot of dudes that's been in there so long, that's how they are. They cold and you know, standoffish. I can remember people hollering out crazy stuff, man, like, you know, bring his body back before it get cold. You know, just foolishness, you know, and it was a crazy scene. But at the time, like I say, I'm young and I'm learning this stuff and I'm seeing this stuff. And like I said, it's shaping my mind. It's shaping my course to take in prison, you know. And it's also building up my resolve that I know that I don't never want to be somebody like that leaving out of prison, you know what I'm saying, on a gurney and a body bag. You know, so it was just insane. It was crazy. And like I say, people handle pressure different. They handle pressure different, man. They say pressure busts pipes, but it also makes diamonds. So it all depends on how much pressure you can hold, how much you can withstand, and how you're going to deal with it when it comes to you. But he was 22 years old, man, and I hate to see anybody lose their life at that age. And you never know how much time he had, but I know dudes that did, like me, 30-some years, 40-some years, and got out, and you know what I'm saying? So you never know how much hope is left at the end of the tunnel. If you check out, you just never know. But some people can't never get to that point because it's just too much for them. It's too much daily chaos for them to deal with, and in their mental or physical, they just feel like they can't handle it, you know. And I ran into a lot of people like that, man. A lot of them, man. You know, more than I can count. I could tell a couple of these stories because it's just so much as I think about it now. It's just so many different times that I've been involved in these incidents where I've seen people do that. They just check out. I can remember even later in the years, even later in the years being on Greensville. And I was right beside this dude, man. He was a cool dude. He was a white dude, man. This was before they made us cut our hair and everything. So he was kind of like a hippie. Had a big old beard and long hair about to his shoulders. But he was homely, real small, nerdy, and meek. And he slept right beside me with another white dude that was a little street savvy and a little prison savvy because he had been locked up a long time, or a couple of times more or less. In, out, in, out. He was one of those dudes. So he was kind of slick and penitentiary sharp, but he was a con artist. You see what I'm saying? So they put him in there with him, so he right there with him. So dude used to be handling him in there. The other white dude, the slick white dude, he was to be handling him in there like far as his money wise, because he just got locked up, never been locked up before. Now, to my understanding, he had got locked up because he had a what they call a crime of passion. Never been in trouble before, nothing. Came home, caught his wife in the bed with one of his friends. When he got the shotgun, he killed both of them. You know, so they gave him all types of time. He had like life sentence or 2 life sentences or whatever. And he couldn't handle it. He ain't know nothing about doing time. He was scared. Then he was trying to lean on his cell partner to guide him through how to do time. But his cell partner, like I said, was a shyster. You know, he going, getting weed from the weed man, buying a commissary from the store box man, and putting it all on his bill and letting him have to pay for it, because normally when you first get locked up, especially, you know, white guys, and they ain't never been locked up before, man, their family be hitting them with all types of money. So they got money coming in all the time, and, you know, because your family want to make sure you safe, want to make sure you okay, and they know you in a different, you know, atmosphere, you in a different space, and they want to make sure you safe. So he used to get money in all the time. He got visits every weekend, but he was real quiet, barely talked and everything. And even when he talked so meek, you know. But his celly, like I said, was a shyster, running up all these bills and this, that, and the third. But both of them was in there smoking the weed, but he was paying for it. You know what I'm saying? So he using his celly to pay for it. But, you know, and he running up debt, and he going getting weed sometime and making his celly pay for it, and he ain't even sharing it with his celly. You know, trying to be a shyster. So I can remember them being right beside me, man, and all this was going on. And cause they didn't even came and borrow from me at this time. I already had a store box as well. I'm loaning them stuff and everything, but they always paid the money. You know, and sometimes when he couldn't pay the money, they would do what they call street to street. That means they would call their people on the street and tell them to send the money to this person on the street, and they would send you the money, and then you get your people to send it in to you on your books. You know what I'm saying? That what was called street to street. So he did a lot of that. I did a little business with him before too, you know. And it was crazy because that came back into play later on down the line. But what happened was, man, he was just meek and quiet and just minding his business, but his celly running around doing all this and doing all that. And then I guess the pressure was building up on him because he had so much time to do. And I heard he had told a couple people, man, I don't know how I'm going to do this time. I can't do it. I can't live like this. This is just crazy, man. I wish I wouldn't have never done that. All of that and all of this. And one morning, man, we get up to go to breakfast. And it's a normal day. He get up, he go to breakfast as well. And he don't really owe nobody because he always pays his debts. But he goes, normally when people check in, go to prison, you know, put themselves in lockup or whatever, you know, like I say, usually they got a problem, somebody pressing them, do this, do that, or they owe too much money that they can't pay and they feel something gonna happen to them if they don't pay. Man, he got up and went to breakfast, man, and ain't never come back. He checked in, he went to jail, he checked in the hole, his celly was running around talking about, I don't know why he check in, and woo, and yeah, well, I'm gonna pay what he owe, but it's really you who owe it. But he just said, I'm gonna pay it because dudes is like, oh, where your sale partner? He gone? Well, you know he owed me this, you know he owed me that. Now all that bill fall on you, so all the stuff you was getting for free, now you actually got to pay for it because he gone. So he mad. I'm like, man, if he come back out, I'm gonna do this, do that. He left me in all this debt, man. You created the debt yourself. You know what I'm saying? Which he know he did, but that's what he's saying. So anyway, he gone there. He done checked in. So that's the only reason we know is just because, like I say, it was too much pressure for him or he didn't want to be there no more. So he back there in the hole, and man, it's probably about a week later. And I spoke about this briefly too before. Not the whole incident, but I do remember speaking about this briefly. And they went around to do the count one morning. And they did a count, and it's like on a Saturday. And Saturday and Sunday is visitation day. So, like I told you, he always got visits. So on that Saturday, they done counted and everything, counting clear, everything is good. His people come to see him for a visitation. So when his people come see him for a visitation, they come get you, they notify the booth, let them know you got a visitation. He is segregation, so they notify the booth will notify floor officer, the floor officer come to your cell, tell you got visitation, get prepared for your visitation. We coming to get you in 10 minutes or whatever, take you over the visitation, escort you. They go to his cell, and he's supposed to be sitting on the bed and just stand there like he's asleep. And they banging on the door, telling him he got visitation. He not moving. They banging on the door, he not moving. They call the sergeant over there. They still banging on the door. They scared to come in there. They think you might be playing possum and get up and put that Bethlehem in them. They scared, but they talk so tough. But they see he not moving. They get a couple more officers over there where they bust the door in case something go on. They got the numbers on you. They bust the door open, walk over to him, and as they can see, he's sitting on the bed. But on Greensville at the time, the window is like right here. It's just a small window, but it got a knob on it. He done put the sheet around his neck, attached it to the knob, and sat there, and he just suffocated himself and hung himself, sitting right there on the bed where he just dead like that, and they didn't know it. They've been walking around here for multiple counts, and the man has been dead. So now they in a really, really big predicament because now they got to go over to this visiting room. Not only is the boy dead and people's job is on the line because you done counted and everything and you supposed to make sure someone is coherent and up, and you done failed to do that. But not only that, you got to go over to this visiting room now and tell his family that he's not coming to a visit. Why? He's deceased. Man, just imagine that. That alone is just mind-blowing. I know that, man, people, and what I heard was they went berserk in there. I mean, they went berserk. They had to shut the visits down that day because them people went insane in there. And, you know, they weren't going for it, man. They weren't going for it. They was just highly upset. They was pissed off. And obviously they had a little money, you know what I'm saying, because they was talking about suing them. They done called the police. It just was pure chaos. They locked the whole compound down. Everybody get locked up. This proceeded to be the start of standing for count. This incident right here made it where everybody had to stand for count. I don't care if you sitting on your bed like this, looking at TV or whatever. After this incident, they was telling you, stand up, you got to stand up for count. And dudes was arguing, catching charges like I don't know what. Man, you see me right here talking to you, you know I'm okay. Now you got to stand up, you got to stand, because people got fired behind that. A lot of people lost their job. I think like everybody on that shift lost their job. Everybody who's supposed to did a count lost their job. The shift commander lost his job. They took all of them jobs just to show that they was doing something for the incident, whereas it didn't reach up to the top where the top was going to be responsible. So they tried to make people scapegoats, and they fired a whole lot of people that probably should have been fired but wasn't really the cause of the whole incident. But that right there started the stand for count joke. And they opened up this great big investigation after this thing, man. And internal affairs came in, the real police came in, the feds. They was calling people out there, interviewing them. They even called me out there because he had my name attached to some money he had sent before, and they want to know what did he send me money for? Was he being extorted? Was all this crazy stuff? I don't know. If he sent me money for something, it probably was for something he got from me and I sold to him or whatever. Not like a store boss, like I just sold it to him. He didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? I sold it to him. He said he'd send me the money. I got the money. That's all I said because that's all I knew. But I knew it was a big investigation behind it, man. We stayed on lock for a minute. They changed all the rules in the DOC, not just Greenville, in the DOC behind that one incident where that dude took his life. They changed everything, you know, and it was just crazy, man. It was pure chaos behind that situation, and it all came from him not being able to take it no more. Him not being able to look down the line and say, I can do these 20, 30 years that I may have to do 35 or 40. That right there is, man, you don't know the fortitude you have to have inside you to even tell yourself that. Because who knows that you're going to be able to survive that long? Who knows that you're going to even live that long, even by natural causes? And who knows, you know what I'm saying, what your mind frame is considering what you're going to miss, you know, being gone that long. And that's just a lot to handle, man. And I guess he felt like he couldn't handle it. You know, I know that type of pressure because I've been up under that type of pressure, and I know it's a whole lot to handle. And it's been times and I didn't think I could handle it neither, but by the grace of God, you know what I'm saying, I ended up making it. But I can understand, man. And like I say, that pressure builds up on you. It's just monumental, and it sometimes it overwhelms you, man. And it never stops. You got dudes who do 10, 15, 20 years or whatever already, and then just say, man, I got X amount to go, or I may get out, and they just lose it then, you know. And like I said, I can remember all the way, fast forward all the way to when I was getting ready to get out. You know, when I'm waiting to make parole, when I'm on Nottaway and I'm waiting to make paper. And I can remember, man, we had the maintenance man, they called him Pac-Man. He was a cool dude, man, real sharp dude, man. Always came with a lot of energy, always smiling. You know, you call him over there, come fix your cell or whatever. It always was him because you only have a few maintenance men. He was the maintenance man of our building. You know what I'm saying? He was a convict inmate locked up, but he has the job as a maintenance man. So them people in there don't really do nothing. They just supervise over the inmates. So when something's wrong, a toilet is stopped up, a zinc is broke, a light messed up or something, they'll call Pac-Man and he'll come. He loved that job because it also afforded him a whole lot of other opportunities to be able to move around, pass stuff, get stuff. He get paid for all of that. You know what I'm saying? So Pac-Man was a cool dude, man. He had a good job, man, and he was functioning real good. He always was cool. Me and him was okay. I never went really locked in with him, real cool with him, but I never had a problem with him. He always was a good dude. He always brought good energy and everything whenever I was around him. And man, I can remember while I was waiting to make parole, man, dudes used to call him in there all the time, man. And he said, "Yeah, man, I heard you waiting to make paper, woo, woo, all that." So we used to have little short conversations or whatnot. So we was real cordial. And I used to see him interacting with other dudes, and he was always like that. And man, they used to say, man, Pac-Man be tripping, man. Pac-Man be tripping. This is what they were saying outside his crowd. Man, what you mean? He said, man, I always say if his girl leave him, man, or if they don't give him, because he was trying to get his time reduced, or if he don't get his time reduced, he gonna kill himself. Dudes was like, man, go ahead, man. He said, man, he be talking about that all the time, but dudes be playing them off because they feel like if you talking about it, you ain't actually gonna do it. And that's normal to think because, you know, who think you gonna really kill yourself, especially if you talking about it? But they say he used to say it all the time, and dudes used to laugh him off. And then later on, dudes said, man, you know, Pac-Man been saying that stuff for years, man. And to my understanding, I think he had been locked up already, at least, I don't want to say for sure, but I know it was like, I think it was like over 15 years already. But he had a whole lot of other time to do, and he kept trying to get his time reduced. And he had a girl that was riding with him that I don't know if he met her prior or since he been in. But like I told you, man, when you got that attachment to a woman out here on the streets and you incarcerated, I'm trying to tell you right now, that's a mean joke right there. Because emotionally, spiritually, physically, it just drains you. Because if you have your energy focused on the street, you're not going to be able to focus on what's in front of you. And it's sad, but it's true. More often than not, I mean way more, 95, 92, 90, 96, 97% of relationships when you go into prison going to dissolve. They're going to dissolve. You know what I'm saying? Very rarely you're going to go into prison with somebody and they're going to ride all the way through with you or vice versa. So, you know, I remember, man, I just can remember being in there and I was waiting to make parole myself, and it was close to right before I made it. I'm not sure if it was after, but I think it was right before I made it. They put us on lock. We go on lock. Oh, everybody go to your cell. Go to your cell. What's going on? What's going on? Go to your cell. Everybody go to their cell. We on lock. Everybody holler, what's going on, man? What we in lock for, man? What's going on? So, you know, you always, like I say, you always got to wait for a CO or somebody to come around to give you the information because you blocked off from everything, you and your cell. If it ain't happening in your block, what we going on lock for, you don't know what's going on till you get that information. And, you know, I remember police was coming around and dudes was asking what happened or why we on lock. And he said, dude, somebody tried to hang themselves, right? And he said the name, the real name. You don't really know people's real name in prison because, like I told y'all, people don't ask people that type of stuff in prison. He went by Pac-Man. Everybody knew him by Pac-Man. So dudes was like, who is that? He was like, Pac-Man, you know, the maintenance man. So dudes was like, what? He said, man, Pac-Man tried to hang himself. It was like, yeah. So the word was that he had tied the sheet and stuff around the bars and climbed over the rail on the top tier and had the sheet around his neck like a noose and was telling the people he was going to jump, he was going to kill himself. And they had locked everybody up, and he's still standing over there up on the rail, and they taking it as a joke. They done call the police in there. They tell him, get down, Pac-Man. You know you ain't gonna do, because they know him because he been working for him for so long. They know him. So they like, get down, Pac-Man. You're not gonna do that, woo, woo, woo. And I heard even, I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard even one of the police or supervisor, sergeant, lieutenant, or whatever saying like, yeah, go ahead, jump. You gonna jump or whatever. You ain't doing nothing. You just wasting our time. You better get down. And man, they say he jumped. You know, and they say he jumped, man, and that jump, boom, snatched his neck, and the COs run over there and try to cut him down or whatever. They cut him down. They call the people, man. They put him on the helicopter and try to get him up out there. And they said, he was DOA, man. They say that he didn't actually suffocate. They say the jerk from the fall snapped his neck. You know, that snapped his neck and that cut off his blood, his windpipe, and that's how he ended up dying. But that was just like super shocking, man, to the whole compound because everybody on the compound knew him. Everybody on the compound more or less was cool with him because he was a likable dude. See what I'm saying? But that's what he did, man, right before I left. So that just let you know that that pressure never stopped. It never ends. It's on you 24/7, 365, every day, every night. It's on you when you're in prison. And dudes, if you out here and you listening to this and you don't want to live like this. Trust me, you don't want to live like this. These dudes doing this because they tired of living like this. They can't take it no more. You see what I'm saying? And it's a lot of pressure, man. And I heard his girlfriend had left him. She told him she couldn't do it no more. You ain't gonna get your time reduced. I can't ride out with you for X amount of years or whatever. And he just said, man, when you leave, that's it. I ain't got nothing else. Family don't mess with me. I ain't got no friends out there. Everything I got is in here. I don't want to be in here. Woo, put the joint on his neck and he jumped, man. And like I said, I was cool with him, but didn't know him, but it affected me because of the fact that I did speak to him. I did engage with him. I did have conversation with him. So to see that and to see or to hear that he did that, it just, put everything to me back in perspective that I was fighting for my freedom right at this very moment after 3 decades and some change in prison. And I'm looking at a man that just gave up just like that. He couldn't take it no more. You know what I'm saying? After 15 or X amount of years plus, he couldn't take it no more. And that could have easily been me in year 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Because you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Every day you got to build that resolve back up in your heart to say, I got to make it to another day. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. The day was real messed up, but tomorrow might be better. Then tomorrow you got to tell yourself the same thing. So it's just hard, man. It's a hard pill to swallow. I'm sorry for his family, man. I'm sorry for their loss. And like I say, overall, he was a good dude. He was a good dude. But that prison pressure is a different type of animal, man. It's a different type of animal when you got to wake up to certain conditions every day, So it makes you think different. It makes you act different. And it changes your whole personality. But you got to fight that every day to keep on going and to keep maintaining, man. And there's a lot of people ain't win that fight. A lot of them, man. Like I say, as I'm thinking back in my mind now, so many people pop up in my head. People that lost their mind, people that just lost hope, people just try to hurt themselves. I just met people that cut themselves. I done met people that done swallowed razor blades. I done met people that just try to attack the police. They don't care no more. I met people that just come out the cell and just start, trying to stab people. They just lose it, because of the environment. The environment is that bad and that depressing, oppressing, and suppressing that you just can't take it sometime no more. You just run out of hope and you just let your release out. So yeah, he must have got to that point, man, and it was a sad thing, man, because like I say, I don't remember meeting one person that or talking to anybody about it that wasn't like, man, Pac-Man, man, he was cool. Everybody thought he was cool, but don't nobody never can see what you don't show them. They don't see what's on the inside. They don't know what his pain was, what his hurt was, what his family situation was, what he really was dealing with, the real internal demons that's inside you. No one can see that but you. You and God, and you and God got to deal with that. And sometimes when you don't listen to God and you try to deal with it by yourself, it's going to all go bad, So, yeah, these just some of the things I seen in there, man. Some of the things I witnessed, some of the things I wish I hadn't of, but it all comes from the pressure of being in prison, man, and it'll make you fold. It will make the toughest and the hardest fold, man. And if you get through it, that's why I say, dude who did a year or 50, I salute you because I know what it took. I know the mental fortitude, the physical fortitude. I know what it took to get through it, So I salute you, man. But like I say, man, that's a blessing in every lesson. And the blessing is I'm out here talking to y'all today and explaining this stuff to y'all about what goes on in there so you would never have to experience it yourself. Someone that you know will never have to experience it yourself. Not your sons, not your nephews, not your nieces, none of that. You can tell them this, you can let them watch this, you can let them know what's actually going on inside there before they make a bad decision that will put them in this type of environment. This is a part of the movement, man, to get this message out, to let people know what's going on the inside of there, what type of things you have to deal with, how people deal with them, how people don't deal with them. You don't have to experience none of that. The first thing you do is don't put yourself in a position to go to prison, period. You know, and that is the blessing that you are out here free right now. Remain free. Stay out here. Forget the foolishness. If your buddy or somebody talking to you, anything that's illegal, anything that puts you in harm's way, no. Period. I don't care if it's your daddy, your mama, your sister. No. Because you and only you going to have to pay the price for that. And it might be a price that you're not willing to pay or that you cannot pay. So, man, just stay free, man, and stay sharp, man. And continue to be blessed, man, because you out here. You know, I feel blessed every day to be out here to talk to y'all. I feel blessed that y'all listen to me. And we going onward and upward in 2022. We're going to keep spreading this positive message. Positive energy creates positive results, man. And that's what we looking for out there, man. So y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions. I appreciate y'all listening to me, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. I return the love. Peace. I'll see you next time. Boom.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.